What's up, guys? So I've been seeing advertisements all over the place for G-Code holsters. I've seen them in movies. I've seen them on, special forces guys, SWAT teams. They do a great job advertising, but I wanted to see if they'd really lived up to their name. So I went ahead and picked up the Assaulter system, which is a belt, a couple mag pouches, ordered a holster for it, put the whole kit together. Honestly, the configurability of it is crazy. You can put magazines in all sorts of different positions. You can use a keeper belt, a Velcro belt that runs through your belt loops, or you can use the inner padded belt that you can just have sitting on the system itself. They have a variety of different holster styles. I went with the OSH with what they call their RTI setup. The RTI setup's really cool because it allows the holster to bolt onto any wheel that they have. So if you want to run Kevlar vest with some MOLLE, they've got an RTI wheel that'll sit on your chest, and you can just lock the holster in place so you can have your gun up here if you want. You can hook it to MOLLE on a backpack, or even inside your safe if you have your safe wall covered with MOLLE. So pinch these guys together here. It pops this out on this side, and now you can take the whole holster out. Here's the RTI setup, and you can see where it locks in by doing that. And then again, to open it back up, something else with the holster, the way that it sits. This is called their optimal drop leg holster. This sits just below the belt line, but not all the way down here where a lot of drop leg holsters sit. I really enjoy this height on a holster because if I'm wearing plates, it's going to clear the plates and I'm not going to have a problem drawing. But at the same time, it's not too low to where when I'm running around, moving from one room to another, it's flopping around all over the place, and then the inner leg belt is loosening up, and then your gun ends up falling out of the holster or getting banged up on something. It also sits very close to your hip. So, I've seen a lot of these wheel style holsters. There's other companies out there that make something similar, but it ends up sticking out about an inch further than this guy does. The pegs of this actually sit inside of the wheel, so it keeps it a very low profile. And that's exactly what you want if you're all geared up and you're moving from one room to another. So again, I really like the aspects of the holster on this. Also, they make a kick-ass setup for your magazines. So these are called their Scorpion magazine pouches. And it's kind of a Kydex with like a rubbery insert to it. So it has a lot of grip on your plastic of your magazine or the metal of your magazine. So it's not going to be falling out or wiggling around in there. And then you've also got these retention straps as well. So if you really want to yank it down and tighten it up, the magazine's not coming out of its pouch. So I generally run a Glock 19, which has shorter mags than the 17. But I like to use 17 mags in Glock 19s just because I like the added round count. So I went ahead and got two separate sizes. I got their tall pouches, which you see here, and then over on the bench I've got the shorter ones, and we'll do a comparison side by side so you guys can see. But the taller one I think fits great. Your standard Glock mag is going to stop about there. I got the added base plates on this one, but it sits well enough in there to where it's not going to wiggle itself out, but still far enough out to where you can grab it with ease. Again, with these base plates on, it makes it super easy, but if you didn't have these, even just grabbing the standard mag would do. And then I stuck two AR-15 pouches on the very back if I'm running a 3-gun competition or something like that. Wanted to have mags for that. If I was just doing a pistol competition, it's very, very easy to unbolt any of these and reconfigure the belt however you want. But again, to test it out, I wanted to put some loaded mags in there to get the weight distribution, see what it feels like all around when the thing is fully loaded down. They're very configurable as well. So on the inside of this belt, there's a series of loops or slots, and you can move these every inch. So if you're wider front, narrower rear and you want these further back on the belt, you can move them in 1-inch segments. So like a kid on Christmas, I was building this thing this week and couldn't wait for range time. So I'm really excited to test this thing out, pull it out of the holster, reholster it, see how the mag changes go, and really just kind of how it sits. So time to get some range time. God, that thing runs great, man. So the magazine change was super easy. Again, I could tighten them up if I wanted to, but there's no need. It's such a grippy substance in there that the mag just, I mean, even though, you know, there's a little bit of play to that elasticity, it doesn't come out on its own, but it's still easy to draw. It's pretty cool. And then actually drawing this, I'm really impressed with this holster. A couple reasons. It's because there's a very positive click, right? Listen. Very positive click that locks the gun in place, but it doesn't have the strap over the back or like any of the you know, Safariland or, you know, other style of retention to it. So it holds it in place very well. I'm not worried about it, you know, popping out. I could probably do a cartwheel and it would be all right. But once you draw it, it's cut low right here, so you can start bringing your gun up. You know, a lot of holsters you kind of have to clear all the way, and it gets, you know, a little uncomfortable to raise your arm that much. This gives you a very easy transition and draw. And then even more so impressive, I brought another Glock 19 that's stock because I wasn't sure if the added features I have on this one were going to hinder itself in the holster. So see here on this one, we've got a extended slide catch release as well as an extended mag release. I was kind of worried about those hanging up on holsters, but they notch this out perfectly to where it actually still slides in. Even with an extended slide catch release, it still seats in the holster very well. Another thing that I noticed, it's got added sight height. So if you're running suppressor sights, you don't have to worry about hanging up on the top of the holster. This one's obviously set up for a RMR cutout, as well as a quicker draw, but I really like this thing, man. It handles a modified Glock very well, and I was kind of worried about that. So I was telling you how well the mags retain in here, and I wanted to actually show you. Let me pull the gun out and set it down, but I don't want to drop that. But these are loaded magazines. I don't think that you're going to necessarily run hard enough or fast enough to where those are going to come out, especially if they're facing up. This thing is extraordinarily comfortable, especially with that padded inner belt. I really like that. Guns are fun. So in addition to badass holsters, belts, mag pouches, G-Code also has these little things called bang boxes. It's a little box that you can zip up ammunition in, little carrying case where you can carry 2 or 3 of them. I got the dual bang box here. And then little Velcro patches that show which kind of ammo you got in there. So you can buy multiple patches, throw your 5.56, 300 blackout, 22, you know, rimfire, whatever, and then know what you got in the case. I think that's a badass little thing. They come in all sorts of different colors. There's, you know, coyote, there's OD green, there's black, there's gray. I like the multicam. But I did want to show you guys the difference between the short and the long magazine, or the short versus the tall. So we've got the tall and we've got the short. We've got a Glock 19 mag in the short and a Glock 17 mag in the tall. They can work interchangeably. So we pull this guy out and put the 17 mag in the short. Obviously it fits. It's not going anywhere. And then conversely, we can fit a Glock 19 mag into the tall. Now this is a bit short for my personal preference. A lot of guys would be okay with this, especially if it had a base plate or something like that. But I prefer the Glock 17 mag in the tall. The shorts are awesome though. I've got a 1911 single stack in here. All you have to do is just kind of give this a tug. It cinches right up, and that's not going anywhere. G-Code makes some badass stuff, man, and I am super, super impressed with it. You get a whole bunch of selections as far as right hand, left hand, color configurations, you know, inner belts, you know, tall versus short mags, you know, everything. And then the Kydex that they make the holsters, or the different types of guns that they make the Kydex holsters for, they've got like a limitless selection on there. So pretty much no matter what you're shooting, they've probably got one already molded. So if I had any complaint, it would be that it just takes a little while to get, but good things are worth waiting for, and I'm glad I waited on this G-Code setup because I freaking love it, man. So make sure you cruise over to tacticalholsters.com, look up G-Code, order something for yourself. You will not be disappointed. It's got, you know, my huge stamp of approval. Hey guys, if you enjoy our reviews, make sure you give a like, subscribe, and then you can follow us on both Instagram and Facebook at The Bullet Points.